When it comes to combating anxiousness, we definitely have to mind our thoughts. It's imperative for us to get our minds right. It is absolutely understandable to experience uneasiness, anxiety during this time. We are in the middle of a pandemic and we've been experiencing this for some time now. And we hadn't experienced this before in our lifetime altogether. And because of the unknown factors, because of new information being released daily, because of all of the traumatic things that have unfolded because of this worldwide pandemic, it causes uneasiness. It causes us to not feel settled. What we once knew as normal, what we once knew, what to expect, what was coming down the pike, it hasn't been that case. A simple trip to the grocery store looks very different, and it has looked different for some time now. And so you have to think about things. You have to, where's my mask? Do I take gloves? Where's my hand sanitizer? Like all of those different things that you didn't have to consider before deciding to go to your local grocery store, right? You just got up and went. You just want to make sure that you had the list of things that you didn't want to forget. And so now we have this whole procedure that we have to go through now, and that has been transformative for a lot of us, for all of us in some way, shape, or form. And when it comes to being able to decompress, you have to be able to control your intake of the news, of the updates. Yes, you want to stay informed, but there's definitely a balance. And you have to know when to shut it off. You have to know when to disengage from just the mindless scrolling of the feed, because when you just mindlessly scroll through the feed, you're exposed to whatever people decide to post that day. And so maybe you need to change your feed. That could be a recommendation, right? So that you have more positive things, images, messages, scriptures coming in to that feed. That's if you engage in social media at all. But there has to be a moment where you disconnect from that. Okay. So when it comes to creating this kind of decompression environment, you want to make sure that you start that before you're ready to go to bed. So maybe have a cutoff time for the news, have a cutoff time for social media, and to be able to begin to prepare your body for rest, for the state of rest. Okay. Create an atmosphere of worship if that is something that brings you peace. For me, it is, right? And so I may go in and I may turn on my essential oil diffuser, have my worship music on. I may take, a shower and then allow myself to be in that state of rest. And so one way to decompress, or another way rather, to decompress is engaging in physical activity. Okay, so getting out, getting active. I know that it's hot outside. This weather isn't conducive for being outside all of the time, but maybe in those early morning hours, just as the sun has risen, maybe you can get out and walk around or go outside. Engaging in things that bring you joy is really important. So for you, that could be doing a plethora of things, from gardening, from cooking, to spending time with loved ones as you can. So connecting with them, doing some drive-bys, like, that person, be at their doorstep and you be in your vehicle, just so you can remain connected. Okay. That can be a decompressant for you. But it is really important for you to be intentional about shutting off your intake to information. Get your updates and then be done with it. Get the information that you feel that you need and be done with it. Making sure that, as it states in Philippians 4:8, that you are thinking about those things that are pure, that are good, that are praiseworthy. Right? It's important, because as a man thinketh, so is he. As a person thinketh, so are they, which is one of the foundations of the therapeutic approach that I utilize with the clients that I work with. It's like, if you can get your thoughts to a place where they produce things that bring you joy, that they are rational in nature, that they are forward moving in nature, so that you're able to, again, have the life that you desire to have, the life that was promised to you, then that's the direction that you desire to go in, right? And so those are the ways that you do it. So again, when it comes to decompression, it's about being intentional. It's about being aggressively intentional with seeking out what it is that doesn't bring you stress, that doesn't cause you to experience an increased level of anxiety. So you want to move from the opposite of that. And again, if you need help establishing what that type of plan looks like for you, a mental health professional can definitely, number one, help identify what those things are that are causing the anxiety in the first place. And then you can discuss what a plan of action would be for you that's tailor fit for you. Okay. And so it could be anxiousness about all of the things that we've experienced, during this time, from racial trauma to kids not being in school and what the new school year, the 2021 school year, is going to look like. It could be employment related and being furloughed one week and working the next week after. It could be so many different things. And again, rightfully so, because it's a time of uncertainty where you don't know what to expect. And so even in those uncertain times, it's imperative to get grounded. And for the body of believers, our faith, our grounding is in the Lord. And so to be able to have that, and then also in addition to complement that, to have tools that you can receive by just talking through the things, through those particular thoughts, and being able to replace those thoughts with something else that is more beneficial in nature, in a therapeutic environment. They're all beneficial for you. Okay. And so those would be the recommendations that I would make as far as in how to maintain that balance of, okay, I want to stay informed. I need to know information so that I can make an informed decision. But in addition to that, I'm also noticing that, it can be taxing emotionally, right? And so to be able to take care of yourself in a way where you're checking in with you, who you are spiritually, emotionally, physically, right? Personally, you're checking in, with your self-care in all of those different areas. And so doing what you need to do, the same way that people have a morning routine, that bedtime routine is imperative. It is imperative to have a cutoff time, right? And to make sure that your bedroom is one that invokes an invitation to rest and peace. You shouldn't be working in your bedroom. I know we're all working from home, but you should find a separate space to do your work, because what you want to do is condition your brain to know that when I go into that room, when I go into the bedroom, it triggers, sleep. It triggers rest, right? I've heard some of my clients in the beginning mention that they just roll over, grab their laptop because it's right there on their nightstand. And that's one of the first things that we address. Like, no, you have to get out of that space. You need to identify another space, a coffee table, another countertop, somewhere else, but you should not be working in your bedroom. Okay, so that's just like a quick tip, a quick fix, that if that's what you've been doing, not doing schoolwork, not doing work in the bedroom, that's the very first, step that you can take for changing, that environment so that it does welcome rest and it does welcome sleep. Okay. So I hope that you found that information helpful. Take care of yourself.